champion select, and it is time to see who can break this tie. Pyke's gonna be the first ban with Camille getting taken out of the hands of Evi. Such good play last game on that to help the team start initiating fights.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see whether they can get any aggression into that bottom lane for Cheetan, for Riyev to be able to capitalize on. I think that when Vivid has just been able to play Tahm Kench and facilitate team play, he has looked at his best Riv. So we'll see whether they try and force him away from that, or whether, you know, potentially the Soraka level 1 was something that they're now thinking about.
Detonation focused me like that, Tahm Kench, the Nocturne, a bit of the Global, the Camille's out, maybe it becomes a Shen, and they put a little bit more damage between Yutapon and Ceros. A few options there. We see that Falcons taken away from Cheetan. Absolutely hilarious.
And it is going to be the Tahm Kench ban away,
wow.
So I expect the Urgot insta-lock to come out here. Actually thinking about it, is it going to be potentially the Aatrox, because we saw Zantins actually have an impressive performance on it? Not going to be the case, and the thumbs up is there.
Locked in. Feeling very good about that pick. He's going to bring Summoner Spellbook to the top side and try and give Zantins trouble here. Do they lock in top, or do they start going for something in the bot lane to make sure Cheetan and Riyev have what they want?
So now the big question is there, can you take something like Zyra Khan? You know, is there a duo that you're looking for? Maybe it's a jungler. Or do you feel the pressure to take Aatrox? Because maybe, you know, Evi could be swapping that Urgot around. We've seen it a little bit internationally in the mid lane. You know, potentially the fact that Aatrox can also be played in multiple positions. However, they do get themselves 2 power picks in their own right, looking for that team fight flavor.
Cheetan on the Kaisa 2 regular season plays. Very well known for his Tristana, but he's going to put his hands in the ladies of the bot lane. Kaisa this time. Ranger picks that up for him. It's going to be the Ezreal Braum here. Yutapon felt very good on the Ezreal, not needing safety of his team, but also and being able to play his own game.
And now you feel it has to be the top lane, you know. Otherwise, the Aatrox is going to get pinched away. You're going to be stuck in a tank matchup. You don't want that. So it is going to be locked in right now. So Zantins taking that one into the top lane. I think that both of the teams very evenly matched in strength right now. You would give the advantage to late game Kaisa, but Yutapon showed how adept he is at navigating these skirmishes and team fights and being able to persist throughout that mid game. Certainly would be feeling confidence after the last performance, and maybe trusting Cheetan to make a couple of characteristic mistakes and overextended. Ezreal Braum does punish that.
Kaisa Alistar for that bot, so you can kind of stop the damage, but we're waiting to see what the map plays out as now for top lane on that, jungle on each side, and for that mid lane. What are they going to be able to put in the Rift? 9 seconds left for KaBuM eSports here on their phase 2 bans. They take Ceros away. Karma's another big play for him in the mid lane, and they may try to focus something else on the map. It's going to be Zoe going out, and they leave Steel what could be his Nocturne jungle once again. Yeah,
I believe that's the 3 most played of Ceros being hit there, and I think that they're acknowledging the fact that when dyNquedo was playing well, this was a team that looked like they were in form, in rhythm. I mean, they had control of that when he was able to take the fight to Jensen, and I think that, you know, that's the respect of the LeBlanc, the respect of the Aurelia, and both of these teams kind of hinging on the mid lane picks right now.
dyNquedo says, Syndra, right now, I'll be taking that one. On the other side, the Karma was still left up. Ceros could be able to get that inner flame working in the mid lane, and he will be able to lock that in. The team gives it to him. Last pick now for the jungle. Steel has that Nocturne open he's been playing quite a bit of. Also looking towards the Kindred and the Xin Zhao, which are still open.
Yeah, and this is going to be a frustrating pick to deal with. I would expect, you know, a ganking jungler to come out as well to try and support this pushing mid lane. Maybe you go towards a Gragas for Steel and see if you can get the early game rolling. Kindred, wow, that is a lot of damage one more time coming out. Once again, kind of a strange comp to start up fight, so not saying it's bad for Detonation Focus Me, but just limiting the windows that Raz always talks about to be able to get these things started. And facilitating Rangers pick, you know, the last pick lock-in could be here. Don't expect that one.
Rolling balls around the Rift. That never-ending snowball. Nidalee hovered here. 5 seconds left for Ranger in the jungle. He's going to get Nidalee played as he roams around.
Okay.
That's going to be a first, especially for the regular season plays. We do not see that in his champion pool. We always know these players play it. I'll always say that as well. Just be like, oh, it's his first time? Never. But they want to go just as aggressive on the side of KaBuM.
Yeah, I think they want to be able to match pace in the jungle. I think they want to be able to get the clear up nice and quick as well. Not to mention the fact that something overlooked a little bit in Nidalee's kit at times is the attack speed steroid. So if he's able to get Cheetan going in that backline, if he's able to fly in there with the heal and be able to start taking people out, certainly is a possibility. He also has good lanes to play around. You know, the stun in the mid lane, the CC in the top lane that can be continuous. Certainly avenues for Ranger to be able to attack when he has been good in the early game, as he has been a couple of times now against DFM. They have looked super solid, and remember, this game is for all the marbles. This is for the shot at the best of 5. So you've got to trust that both of these teams would be very confident in their picks.
You have to remember KaBuM, a team that has been through those trials and tribulations with Zantins and Riyev on the bot side of the map, helping the rest of the mentality of the team through games like this, through pressured times. On the other side of the rift, Detonation Focus Me feeling very good, finally being able to represent the region of Japan in the LGL as they come onto the world stage. But who will be able to break the tie is the question. Both teams have had power surges in their plays, but also falter. Will they be able to find just the power this time around?
And I think two different kinds of pressure. KaBuM trying to reclimb into groups through a best of 5 to reach former glory. New roster, same storied organizations. While Detonation Focus Me, they are trying to do what no LJL team has ever been able to do. Such domestic dominance, but never a crack at the World Championship. They get it right now. All that is standing in their way is the Brazilian lineup.
And I love what we've been kind of saying is the pressure of these teams that are in the growing regions are absolutely able to put a lot of their high caliber play on show here at Worlds. It's not like, oh, this is going to be another game. They might have a chance. These games are all very close and pushing some of the teams that we figured would fly through these groups all the way to the brink and possible losses. Here now, one team has to lose as the other moves forward. Detonation Focus Me versus KaBuM live on the Rift for our tiebreaker match.
And KaBuM seems to be warming up. They seem to have been getting better and better as this tournament progressed. They would be coming in here thinking, you know what, we've finally found our form, we've finally found our rhythm. Maybe some overconfidence, as that's actually a very nice ward clear coming out of Evi there. On the hands of Cheetan versus the Cloud9 lineup. But you also like that. You miss 100% of shots you don't take. He missed a couple that he did, but a couple will eventually stick. And what is with Yutapon and first item just gold stack?
He is raking it in, that's for sure. Good return on investment on those summoner choices. Kleptomaniac just getting tons of gold. So pretty same starts around the board except for that Doran shield up top. And the talisman for Hunter's Machete, obviously, for our junglers. A big hit from Zantins, but shielded, not a problem, as nothing happens. It feels good. You fly through the air and you're like, ah, not so much.
Yeah,
a little bit of harass.
Certainly a fun champion. As we see a couple of Aries go toe-to-toe, shorter cooldown in the bottom lane. However, because they saw Zantins top lane, maybe they think that he's up there. Steel going for the gank.
Titan already, or Cheetan rather, and he gets the concussive blows on him. Winter's Bite will not be locked down as they back up off of this fight. A good first flash, but could be a rinse and repeat for Cheetan there on the bot side as Yutapon continues to farm and push forward.
Yeah, just a flash for a flash. You could see right there, not able to flash the headbutt coming out of Riyev. Certainly a mechanic available to steal, but not able to time that one, didn't even go for it. So the 80 carry will lose the summoner spell. You can see that they really want this gank, but there's a ward in the brush. Steel stuck around for such a long time.
Back towards the mid lane for him. Eyes on Ranger on the top side. They'll see he has double buffs, and he's flying through his jungle. And it looks like Evi will not be taken off guard by this, and now Ranger knows, I'm in vision. I'm going to have to play this one a little bit more safe. Steel on the bot side of the map, easily able to clear Raptors now, and he's not forced to do anything too scary.
Yeah, potentially wants a repeat gank as well. Knows that Ranger could be in the top side of his jungle. Will now once again spot him on that ward. So he is sticking further towards that bottom lane. Not necessarily the most blue buff intensive champion is the Kindred.
Look at all the mana he's using.
Doesn't mind having it.
Right.
See whether he just sticks with the aggressive clear. Because it looks like he wants to get some counter jungling done.
So what kind of is this first move? We know Steel on the Kindred this game, quite a bit of damage, but also for Ranger, where are these junglers going to be looking?
Well, I think the big thing for Ranger is if he gets towards the jungle item, he will completely outpace what Kindred's able to do. So I think that the big thing is, you know, continue to farm up, And then Steel is all about, let's pick some strategic fights, you know? I'm going to get myself a red smite. In the 1v1, if I dodge the initial spear, I'm going to definitely be able to take the Nidalee down. So let's try and force some skirmishes, some 2v2s, some 3v3s in the bottom lane. So I think it's going to be important to keep track of where the summoner spells discrepancies are, and also how much access Ceros gets to the wave. Because if you're able to just continually push dyNquedo in this mid lane, he's going to struggle to be able to shove out and maintain mana, which means he's not going to have kill threat. And Ceros can start, you know, trying to help out Evi, trying to team up with Steel, as we see maybe someone like Jensen and Blabber do. Evi actually going to catch Ranger out here, deny a camp. That's pretty big.
Oh, hello. So yeah, denying Braum, still gets back to lane and doesn't have to miss any CS there. So great call from Detonation focused me to work kind of off a play, but around the map for each other here in the early part of the game.
And I think that the big thing is, given the fact that we've seen Ceros play this pick once, and he did go towards the supportive items, his build is going to be so much cheaper. So he's going to be online at a much earlier portion on this game. And he is working with a double marksman composition. Sure, Ezreal not all that reliant on attack speed, but it is certainly nice. And the fact that Kindred is able to get fantastic benefit out of it as well just means that they can force around objectives. And if he ever is able to group up with Steel, with Yutapon, I think that Ceros could be the swing point in this matchup.
Roaming around as Steel has 1 mark on his Kindred. Doesn't have too much marked up just yet to find anything else at this point. Soul Flare, Inner Flame, the Mantrid Q there being used to push the wave as we see it. Kind of being pushed in towards Ceros, but no CS discrepancy to start things off in the mid lane. dyNquedo likes to be aggressive. We see him on that LeBlanc recently, but you're not going to be able to kill the Karma right away, so.
Especially not a Karma with heal.
Yeah, patience is going to pay off in that lane.
Yeah, it's certainly going to have to be a virtue. This is the exact same setup that was run last time. Once again, Steel wouldn't exactly mind a little bit of a fight there. As soon as that spear goes wide out of range, it loses a lot of his potential to win those team fights. So I think that, you know, now red smites are picked up. Certainly is an explosive jungle matchup to track.
Back to lane, teleports on the marksman. Haven't seen that for quite a few games here in the play-ins, but is coming back for Cheeton and Yutapon here.
And just checking in with another player tendency here, Riv. We've seen for 2 games in a row now that Yutapon going towards the Sheen is the first item. Shows that he's not willing to concede pressure in this lane. It's going to cost him an earlier evolve that can come out of that mana mune. But for right now, if there is any jungle influence on this lane, if they're ever able to get, you know, teleport gang set up, or potentially an early dragon around this mountain, going to do so much more damage. So I love looking at individual players' tendency. You can see that Steel acknowledges it, starts to play a little bit more around his AD carry.
And that's completely based on Yutapon. He is going to have to hit those shots. The moment he starts missing, that Sheen feels like nothing. And he is making them count right now on Cheeton. They trade a bit of the same damage back, but Steel is ready. Kind of wanting 6 before he comes back. We'll see that here off possibly red. Get a look at his experience bar.
Well, what that means is right now they've got a push in the mid lane. You can see Ceros is able to get first access to those waves, is starting to shove in on dyNquedo. He's gone back, he's got himself his first shot. So this could start to swing a little bit if he's able to get some harass down. But if Ceros just mitigates the lane and plays against a minion, should be able to consistently do that. With the Sheen, you know, you can see right now, Yutapon's able to also push up in his lane, which gives this whole bottom side control over to Steel. You can do 2 things with that. You can either fight for vision, maybe try and invade the next blue buff, take a dragon, or as soon as you get your vision set up, you know exactly where Ranger isn't. Then you pick your window of when you want to attack the top side of the map. And I think that they've shown that when Evi is on these bruiser pickups, they do like to play around him. So we'll see whether that's the case.
They did have a bit of pressure towards the top side to start things off, but Evi's vision has kept him safe, allowing him to be somebody that can come back up in the fights here. dyNquedo looking for that pressure top for Steel. As you said, that pressure top lane is going to be a big thing. And Steel stops it for now from KaBuM.
Because the difference in the game that they were able to win earlier this morning was the fact that Zantins was just completely unchecked. Like, he was split pushing for days, able to knock down turrets, became a monster. You know, in one of the Baron fights that happened, he was in the side lane, just kills the Scion, takes a couple of turrets for himself, continues to march it down. So I think that, you know, that this is certainly the pick to watch. Evi prioritized the Urgot over the Aatrox, and I agree with him. Based off measuring strength at the moment, I think that Urgot does sit slightly above. But now he has to be able to prove that justification in the pick of leaving both towers up.
Absolutely. What do you think gives it that edge? The versatility, the all-around map play?
I think it's the fear. I think the fact that we've seen so many, you know, harpoons stick, but then to flash in to guarantee the fear afterwards, just seems to be a little bit more disruption, and executes when it's such a tank-heavy meta is very important. Obviously, not many tanks being run into this game, but it's something that we certainly saw throughout the regular season that came through for that Urgot.
Very true. Percent damage is always going to catch your eye because they're good, but executes, those are great. We love those. Definitely something you want on the Rift if you can afford it, and that's what you get out of the Urgot on the top side, that fear beyond death. Back down to bot, 91 to 86. So we get a quick hit in from Riyev, and the arcane shift from Yutapon for safety. So still trying to tag on a bit of that aggression, but also ensure Ranger and dyNquedo have a bit of safety for this first drink.
Yeah, and you have to applaud dyNquedo as Yutapon takes some damage here.
Man, good luck, or good thing that arcane shift was down. That could be Cheeton going down very fast. They're still gonna get aggression onto this dragon. One more hit, locks down Riyev, but that'll wear off. Beautiful Soul Flare coming in. True Shot Barrage almost takes down Ranger. He's going to have to be careful. No help for Riyev. Level 6 is there as he throws down the ultimate quite late. It's not going to be enough, and first blood for Steel.
Huge turnaround play there. It looked like they had all of the control mid lane. They walk it down to the Dragon, but one more time it's Cheeton, the inexperienced rookie, taking too much damage underneath that turret. Riyev wasn't there to save him. It costs the team everything. And DFM strike first.
The idea of the play was fantastic. Bots pushed, we have Dragon priority, but like you said, too much damage taken.
And you can see that Riyev wanted to walk towards the Dragon. He split into going through the Cry Brush. At the same time, Cheeton walked up to Spell Fling underneath turret. He is not in this play. And Ranger had already taken all of that free damage on the Dragon. Complete disaster, but Detonation focused me one more time, just capitalizing on the small mistakes.
Rolling a little bit of that momentum from last game into this one. Even with that loss, they were still playing strong-minded and starting their own fights, making things happen, and not really having vision on Dragon there did not deter them from biting back. Now 1-0, just 11 minutes in. KaBuM still gonna stay in the face bot lane as Cheeton tries to get these threaded attacks in and knock down Yutapon and Vivid.
But you can just see how confident Yutapon is at the moment.
Yep.
You know, flawless CSing under the turret, rotating with his team. At times has been an aggressive player, but I like how conservative he has been today, you know, farming up to that 2-3 item mark. In these high pressure games, there is nothing worse than playing from behind. So just ensuring that even the slightly ahead game has been crucial for this lineup. And again, the Kindred, as well as Karma trying to team up, not going to work this time.
I was going to say as well, in the Ezreal, it feels bad to even fall behind at all.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
For him to be able to stay on par but get a few assists in there to start off is beautiful.
There's two kinds of Ezreals. There's the Ezreals that you just don't care about. They shoot stuff at you. It kind of tickles a little bit. You know, they're a nuisance at best. And then there's the Ezreals that like hit you with a Q and it does like 3/4 of your health. And sometimes you just don't understand how it happens. And you know, it's all about the continual CS, getting that early evolution. And that's what we saw last time out of him. So elusive, so slippery, reading the team fights brilliantly. That cerebral play coming out and looking to continue that this game.
Mid lane, I don't think Steel showed there, but he was on a ward, so they have an idea. This pulverizes, the headbutt goes in, that leaves Riyev out to dry a bit, but can't really aggress with the amount of minions KaBuM is working with at this point in lane.
Yeah, also the fact that Yutapon thought it was going to hit him, so he preemptively buffers the arcane shift. If that wasn't the case, potentially could have turned around for a little bit of damage, but one more time, this is Vivid picking up a heal. Like, he's not an aggressive support player. He wants to play keep away with his AD carry.
Just toying with each other now.
And he's just guaranteeing Yutapon farm. He's saying, you know what? I'm here to be a bodyguard. I'm here to play the likes of the Tahm Kenches, the Sorakas, the Braum. I will keep you safe if you promise to carry me late game. Yutapon needs to come good on this on that promise in this game. He's got all of the tools. He's going to have a support Karma, a support Braum. Between him and Steel, they need to be able to make it work.
Evi getting a few attacks pulled in by the chains as he starts to make his way out, and it doesn't look like Ranger will have enough time on that, but they may play this to say, let's do that again. It looks like Ranger doesn't stay for now. He'll head down towards clear for possible scuttle soon, I believe. But he's also given protection over to his mid laner. A lot of here and there, but nothing really activating for KaBuM just yet.
Credit where credit's due. I said I thought that this matchup should go in Ceros' favor now that he got that first shot. that cheaper build, but the Syndra player has done such an amazing job of keeping this one neutral. Zantins now flashes forward.
He flashes and steal is there. They play the false sense of security and that Evi might be dying and Zantins wants it all. Cheaton comes in though, they say we need more aggression up here. Nothing's really going on the bot side, so another teleport is called for DetonatioN Focus Me to deter the turret on top from going down. This is now both marksmen to the top side of the map.
Yeah, it certainly is, and that was such an aggressive play. Flashing forward, they do get the flash out of steal at the same time. The squishy jungler now needs to play carefully. However, nothing breaking right now. 1 kill and a dragon is all that we've had so far this game. You can see both teams very keen for some more action.
The reset on bot as Zantins and Evi make their way there. Teleports can still be used towards the top side. This was only the marksman coming in on that fight.
And that was such an interesting play because on the timing, you would think that they would want to be around bottom lane. You would think that the reset would be there for the Infernal Drake. Come back with maximum power. You know, Cheaton with the boots too, with the Storm Razor. Kind of the mixed bag right now for the Ezreal, but this is also a place of power, you know, cooldown reduction, tier, that infinite mana status. However, I think that was a surprise punch. That's why they went for the play on the top side of the map, but you got to applaud Steel, read it like a book, and was able to nullify the play.
Slowly getting that vision worked on the top side of the map. We haven't seen too much action from this Nidalee pick from Ranger, usually very pronounced for the team. Has been kind of slowed down in any of his aggression. Still 1-0 as it's been quiet on the home front here for both teams, really. Just a 600 gold lead in favor of DetonatioN Focus Me with 50 seconds on that Infernal Drake.
And I think that's a good point, Riv, because he does have some good setup. You know, he's got himself an Alistar, he's got himself an Aatrox, but he just hasn't been able to find his way into the game yet. A lot of farming, that's an exhaust down.
Pretty grueling fight here for Zantins as he's getting walked around the patella piercers into the fear beyond death, takes down Zantins.
And that is just Zantins not respecting the unsealed spellbook. He didn't have ultimate available, he used it top lane for the additional damage. Able to pick up the solo kill and now has access to that bottom lane turret. Huge play out of the carry of DFM.
Waiting for that lane to break. If not the Camille, Evi can still do it on the Urgot. Taking the Aatrox to town on that one. It looks like 6 seconds, Zantins will be back. Teleports are still up for those two, but a little pressure for DFM can be organized on the map, knowing Evi can take those fights now.
Yeah, absolutely, and now goes back, gets double armor items, so he's going to be even more annoying to deal with.
Cooldown armor, good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Black Cleaver's still there to cut through majority of it, but I think that that is the lane that you do not want to get out of control. If you lose the side lane pressure, as we've seen so often, it does come back in a big way. One more time. Really got to respect the patience with DFM that they play the map. You know, they understand that they've got themselves a gold lead, but their map is not in a great position. Yutapon on the top side. So they just give up this dragon for free, instead trade it for some vision around the Rift Herald. And now looking for that to be their first objective. One more time, this is just Zantins not really respecting it. Could catch this wave, but his turret doesn't want to do it. Gets hit with the exhaust, gets hit with
bunch of minions.
Massive slow.
Ooh.
It's actually like terrifying when you get hit by that in-game. The first time it happened, I had no idea what was going on. And not only is it a fantastic execute, but as I said, that team fight presence that it gives you with the fear is just so unexpected at times.
Rift Herald, DetonatioN Focus Me. Looks like they'll be able to grab this. A little bit of presence from KaBuM here. Nicely done to knock Steel up, and they actually start to take control of the fight. Just a few more hits on the Rift Herald, but it's actually sitting untouched in the middle of the fight. Vivid's gonna throw on the stopwatch. Riyev gets out of it. How is Rift Herald even still walking around as the kills start to go? Zantins in World Ender, but he could go down as he starts to heal a little bit. And they are starting to get the kills over off the KaBuM. Zantins now about to fall. One last shot coming in for Yutapon, and Cheaton makes it with a sliver of health. Feeling the wind of the True Shot Barrage on his back.
Yeah, Cheaton sneaks into that pit, able to get the Rift Herald, gets out with his life. It did not look like it was going to be worth it. 3,000 gold lead. Now they're looking to push the mid lane turret, and the fights are going the way of DFM.
Ceros getting a quick clear on the wave, so they have no troubles there with the next set of minions. And a bit more gold on top of that 3-kill fight.
And we said you don't want the split pusher to get out of control. Well, guess what, Riv? Evi is completely out of control. Another fear beyond death lands there. Got the fear onto dyNquedo as well. And just chunked him out of the fight. No presence coming from the two carries of KaBuM at this stage. I mean, as we take another look at it,
yeah.
it looks brave. You know, Yutapon's gone back top lane. How are they going to win this fight? But then Evi flies in. Just able to land the slow, able to continue the damage, gets the fear, and then runs it straight at the mid laner, and he still wants some more. He wants Zantins.
Trying to get out. Flash is there for Zantins so he can get over the wall, and he has vision on his side, something Evi does not even after that fight. So with that lead, they're still going to play it safe, but 5-0 now with a 4,000 gold lead at 19 minutes.
And this looks a little bit like how KaBuM looked during their very successful season. You know, carry top lane, are able to exert so much pressure. The rest of the map just holding it down, being prepared for those team fights. We're now getting towards the 20-minute mark, and we've seen already how dangerous Detonation Focus Me can be around that Baron objective with priority in the lanes, with the ability to push out now because of their 4,000 gold lead. This is danger zone for KaBuM. Remember, this is for the shot in the best of 5, and KaBuM right now, I mean, I think they're hoping for a miracle team fight.
I feel like it's something they could take. You have DyNquedo hitting something like an unleashed power. You find Yutapon once in this fight, and he is the guy that has been so elusive that allows these fights to really continue going the long haul, letting Evi come in, letting the rest of the team use the defense that they brought to the table. But that unleashed power, Cheaton being huge, could zero out Yutapon right away. It's very touch and go, but Detonation Focus Me wants to be right on that line of touch and go.
Yeah, absolutely, and that means the pressure on Vivid, the pressure on Ceros to be able to deny that, to be able to come through.
Right, you have to be fast.
Continue these protracted fights. Something that Rav's talked a lot about was the ability to push up mid lane, control topside jungle, and attack top lane turrets for the last game. And I think that really DFM have read that well. Two-man Baron now starting up, and they have no idea this is happening.
Good defense on Evi. He's big enough to help do this right now with Righteous Glory and the help from Black Cleaver, shredding it
They
down
don't know.
to two-man. Wait, it's going to be a quick walk over here from Zantin. He'll have a ward to throw down. 18, it just came back up, so he throws it in. It's all the way across the map as Ranger, so there's no smite there. Zantins can't put himself in the Baron pit, and that is Baron at 20 minutes on the mark for Detonation Focus Me.
What a heads-up play. You could see Ranger thought that he caught Ceros overextending. He acted just tasty enough. That meant the rest of the team able to capitalize on the Baron. It looked like a reset. It looked like Evi had taken top lane turret and gone towards, you know, that reset maybe towards bottom side of the map to set up for the proper Baron play. It's a brave call. You get caught on Baron at 20 minutes, you probably lose the team fight, but they don't, and they come out with everything.
And to think of what happened in that fight before, in favor of Detonation Focus Me, very chaotic. It was kind of all about the Rift Herald, and it threw KaBuM for a loop. How do you not at 20 minutes have vision around that Baron area at all? Something that very much fell to the wayside for them, and Detonation Focus Me is preying on these, as we said, small mistakes that become very big for them.
And now they have all the control in the world, you know, 5,000 gold lead. Need to make sure they don't get engaged on here, and Vivid one more time just does his job brilliantly, scouts out Riyev. Means they can just allow their carry, Evi, to push in on that bottom lane, continue to accrue the gold lead.
Zantins forcing top, focus on that split push, which can pull Detonation Focus Me a little thin across the map. They, however, have Evi doing the same job on the bot side. And it's going to be second tier mid turret taking a lot of damage as Detonation Focus Me takes it down.
But on the side of DFM, you have the Baron Riv, you have all of the favors in both sides. Sure, they're losing one lane of farm, but they're winning on two sides of the map.
I wonder if we even see Zantins come back. They may say stay for one more. It's gold we need, but is it the pressure you need? Is it going to pay off? Detonation Focus Me now waiting for a wave. Not too much clear can really come here from the squad unless DyNquedo starts throwing those orbs out, but baroned up minions are going to be very hard to clear. Turret's down to half health as now Evi's on the bot side. Back goes Zantins, and KaBuM may need to fight or watch their inhibitors go down.
And the big thing as well is there's an objective to retreat to, so they can just take this mid lane inhibitor. They know there's not going to be any vision around the Infernal Dragon. They can finally equalize or they can just continue the pressure and try and take down number 2.
What strength for Detonation Focus Me from the LJL. They have tried year after year, but came up short in the playoffs now. With their first representation of Japan at the world stage, they're gonna try to end it on KaBuM, but KaBuM goes in to start it off on their own terms. Riyev close to going down, and he will fall. World Ender's there for Zantins, but he's gonna come up short, and the team may lose him as well. Cheetan gets back to safety. 3 members of KaBuM alive may be what they need to stop this game from ending, and Detonation Focus Me is looking for the Nexus.
And Vivid is absolutely popping off right now, able to land the 4-man ultimate. They send their top laner back. He's teleporting in. They want to end the game now.
It's a Braum spawn. He's bringing in the presence. He's bringing in the safety. Happiness for Detonation Focus Me as they take down the first Nexus turret. 7-0 in a statement game as they look to break the tie against KaBuM eSports. And they will take down the Nexus, taking 2nd seed in Group C.
What a dominant performance across the board for the LJL representative.
Beautiful.
DFM first time at Worlds and a statement game. And you can see they are rocked right now, KaBuM. That game was just over in a blink of an eye. 1 Baron, and they pushed to end.
And a Baron that was snuck as well. You consider after everything that's happening, the fights that go, it was not having vision on a portion of the map that swung the entirety of the game. And both teams throughout this play-in stage pushed themselves to the max, and Detonation Focus Me found themselves coming out on top.
And for the veterans of this lineup, for Yutapon, Ceros, their coach Kazu, who's been with them since I think 2015, first time this team went internationally. That is a sweet, sweet victory. And really across the board, everyone just doing their job, playing well. Evi and Vivid probably the 2 standout performances, but just an all-round fantastic team performance.
They kept it active, the most active team in the early game of the LGL with that 2.1 kill assist at 15. They definitely put the pressure onto KaBuM here. KaBuM wasn't even able to find one of those kills. And as you see, Steel there, very relieved as the jungler of Detonation Focus Me, and I'm sure they're all feeling very good about the placement here in Group C.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was down to the wire. They had such good performances against Cloud9, but they dropped that match against KaBuM. There would have been that hint of doubt, but a solid early game. That mid-game execution was on point.
Yep.
And a very clean victory.
All right, well, to help us celebrate that win in every match from today, let's turn it over for World's Cooldown.